Welcome. We are going to look at food quality. Food quality is a complex characteristic of foods that determines its value and acceptability. Under this, we are going to look at quality control, quality assurance, quality improvement, and quality management. So, let us start by discussing quality control. Quality control is a set of activities designed to assure a standard of excellence. A standard of excellence can be ensured by meeting required regulations and requirements. That's why in food quality control can be defined as a process that ensures food products meet specific qualities and regulation standards before released in market. And now this reminds us that quality control is implemented to fulfill quality requirements and review all factors in production, that is, land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. And once the quality requirements are being fulfilled, that means a food business or a company or a food industry or an organization will be sure that the goods or services that it is rendering to customers or consumers are the ones which meet the goals and objectives of the company or the industry or the organization. Quality control focuses mainly on process output, that is to say, it is product oriented. It is product oriented because it involves testing products to ascertain whether they meet the required food safety regulations and consumer requirements, such that if a product is identified with a fault or a defect, quality control will seek to rectify any of the default or any of the defects or any of the faults in the finished product before the product is released to consumers. And the quality control also uses tools like operational auditing and inspection. By this we mean there is always a systematic review of efficiency, effectiveness, and economy of the operation. That is to say, this quality control involves the evaluation of the company's operating activities. That's why we said it involves the review of all the factors of the factors in production. So the key elements or components that comprises the quality control are: quality control consists of procedures which are used to assure test validity and reliable results. So for as the evaluation is being done, there are procedures which are being followed. And in quality control, those procedures which are being used for testing are always valid and reliable. In other words, they are always accurate and also they give consistent results. Quality control also involve systems for verifying and maintaining quality in tests or processes. It also comprises of monitoring and assessment of laboratory testing processes, and then also it contains operational techniques for quality requirements. Quality assurance. Quality assurance involves the determination whether a product or service meets specified requirements. And quality assurance a process oriented is a process oriented, and mainly it focuses on preventing issues. That's why we say quality assurance is mainly implemented for confidence in fulfilling business requirements and goals. This is because it is a more focused on error prevention, in error prevention. And since it focuses on error prevention, uh, it helps build confidence in fulfilling business requirements and goals, because the product that will be coming out will be the one which meets the requirements or the regulation standards. And the error prevention is mainly done through systemic measurement and process monitoring. That's why say quality control mainly aims at stopping defects or faults from occurring, and it does that through efficient processes. And this is why we constantly uh, monitor the processes, and we do measurements systematically, so that in case if there's a error which has occurred or a fault which has occurred, it will be rectified with ease. We monitor the process so that errors do not occur, and this one here will give us the confidence that the goods and services that we are producing are going to meet the requirements. Then quality assurance is also part of quality management, focusing on quality requirement fulfillment. And the key features or elements or components of quality assurance are: it consists of broad spectrum of evaluation activities for compliance with the quality standards. So quality assurance is made up of uh, activities that are used for evaluating whether a company or a business is complying with the quality standards. It also consists of actions to establish, protect, and improve healthcare quality. Then it is a formal and systematic exercise in identifying and overcoming problems. That's why we have error prevention in quality assurance. Quality improvement. Quality improvement is mainly being implemented for evaluating or analyzing and improving processes in production. So that means quality improvement entails two aspects, two main aspects: evaluation or analysis, and then improvement of processes of operation. And this is why that's why it involves significant changes and incremental improvement. Changes which occurs slowly but surely. And it is a systematic and continuous action. It is made up of systematic and continuous actions for measurable improvement in healthcare services. So it is very, very important that in quality improvement, we always ensure that we evaluate and analyze the processes of production and the essence or the reason as why these processes are being evaluated or analyzed is to improve on the processes so that the product which are coming out will be the products which can meet the requirements or the required standards. The key components or elements in quality improvement includes it is a formal approach to performance analysis and improvement efforts. It defines and reassesses standards of care, and then quality improvement also is made up of techniques that are used for continuous study and improvement of processes. Quality management. Management is simply a process or it's the act of ensuring that all activities and tasks are being accomplished in order to maintain a desired level of excellence. So that's why it is a more concerned about ensuring consistency in organizations in terms of the products and the services that are being produced or uh, given to the consumers. So there has to always be a consistency in the product and the services which are rendered to the consumer. And this one here can be uh, ensured by always making sure that activities and the tasks are accomplished in a good way. And the quality management system comprises of the components like quality planning, quality assurance, quality control, and quality improvement. And all these activities, when they are done in a good way, or when the activities in all these aspects are being accomplished, that means there will be maintenance of the desired level of excellence, or there will be consistency in organizations, products, and services. And then also in quality management, we are also concerned about customer satisfaction at the lowest overall cost while continuing improvement. So as we are improving the business, as we are improving the process, or as we are improving the product, we should make sure that the customers or the consumers are satisfied, and this will be done at the lowest cost possible. And this is a very important for companies and industries because always they make sure that they they do their work in a way that they spend less and then they maximize profits. Functions of quality management. Management activity for quality policy determination and implementation. So the management activities helps in ensuring that there is quality policy determination and implementation in a company or in an industry or in an organization. Then also it is a overseeing all the activities to maintain a desired level of excellence. And it involves quality planning, quality assurance, quality control, quality assessment, and quality improvement. Quality management system. Quality management system is a management system which directs and control an organization for quality. Why it is able to do that is because it is a it controls and direct uh, the criteria, production, and distribution of the products such that efficiency and effectiveness is being ensured. And once that is done, that means the quality is also assured. It is a formal system which involves documentation of structures, responsibilities, and procedures for achieving quality policies and objectives. Then quality management system also coordinates and directs activities to meet customer and regulatory requirements. The components of quality management system includes organization resources, processes, and procedures which are used for effective quality management. And then it encompasses quality assurance, quality control, equipment management, finances, and staff training. Then we can look at total quality management. Total quality management is a management approach for long-term success through customer satisfaction. So the aim of total quality management is to ensure that there is a customer satisfaction, because once there is a customer satisfaction, that means in a long run there is a possibility of the company or the organization or the business succeeding in a long run. And this is what is referred to as incremental improvement, because once customers are satisfied, they will remain in your business. They always buy from you, and with that, in the long run, it can make the company to improve on its products, and hence the company will grow. And this total quality management is a philosophy which it has a philosophy which integrates all organizational functions for meeting customers' needs and objectives. And it is also made up of stakeholders which work together to ensure a continuous improvement in processes, products, services, and then the company culture. So it is the role of these stakeholders to ensure that there is always improvement in these areas of processing, products, services, and company culture. Quality planning in total quality management. The quality planning in total quality management focuses on developing products, systems, and processes to meet or exceed customers' expectation. So here there's always a development of products, especially the new products, so that the customers are satisfied. This development may come as a result of the complaint which is received about the product uh, from the customers. And then also you you need to develop systems and processes so that there is always effectiveness and efficiency in the uh, line of production. Then the quality planning also includes identifying customers, determining their needs, and then developing necessary tools. That's why the first thing that we have to take into consideration as we are doing quality planning is we first need to know or get the customers for our products. Then after identifying these customers, we can go ahead and determine their needs or desires as far as the product that we are giving them is concerned. And then from there, we can now go ahead and design necessary tools that we can use to make sure that we meet or exceed their expectations or desires. Raw material control and process control. Raw material and process, these are directly related because the raw materials are the ones which are used uh, in the process of developing or producing goods, products, or services, goods and products. Then we this raw material control and process control is discussed more under hazard analysis and critical control point system, and also in total quality management in manufacturing practices. So this we are going to meet it in future. So for now we can leave that there. Then let us look at finished product inspection. Finished product inspection focuses on the final product inspection in total quality management, and there are different testing stages that a finished product undergoes during the time of inspection or testing. And these stages include visual observation, physical testing, and then chemical tests, which are being done mainly from the laboratory. And this finished product inspection focuses or emphasizes on microbiological testing. This is for health and sanitation controls. We know that this microbiological testing is very, very important in food because once a food has the microorganisms, then the food is unsafe for consumption. Why? Because when we consume these foods, we can suffer from foodborne illnesses and also adverse health effects. And so we have to always, when we are doing finished product inspection, we have to always ensure that we test for whether we test for the presence of microorganisms. If the microorganisms are present, then the food is not safe. But if they're absent, then uh, the food is safe for consumption. Quality management in the food industry. This is very important. Quality management is very important in the food industry, uh, be it at the point of sourcing, processing, or packaging. So during sourcing in industry, when we are sourcing for raw materials, the following consideration have to be taken. Select reliable suppliers who meet quality standards. There are other suppliers who do not follow good agricultural practices, and therefore the raw materials that we get from these customers or these suppliers are the ones which can never meet the quality standards. So whenever we are selecting suppliers, we have to select suppliers whom we think are able to meet the quality standards. Then implementing rigorous testing and auditing procedures for raw materials. once raw materials are supplied by suppliers. Before we transport or store them, we first need to test them whether they are damaged or they are rotten or they are having microorganisms. We have to test it first, and this will enable us to ensure, or this will enable us to meet the quality standards in the products that we are going to produce using the raw materials. Then we have to also ensure that there is proper storage and transportation to maintain quality. After getting the raw materials from the suppliers and testing these raw materials, we have to transport and store them in a manner that maintains the good quality in the raw materials. During processing also, we can practice quality management. Quality management is important in processing because uh, when we manage the quality during processing, that means the final product will also be of good quality, or it will meet the consumer requirement. So we can ensure that during processing by establishing clear process control procedures to ensure food safety and consistency. And then also we can ensure this by regularly calibrating and maintaining equipment for accuracy and efficiency. We have different equipments that we use in the industry, and we have to always make sure that we have to check these equipments, calibrate them, and then also always maintain them in good condition so that they will always be efficient and accurate in the things that we are using them for. Then we have to also monitor and manage critical control points to prevent hazards. We know the disadvantages of hazards. Once our food contains a hazard, that means the foods are unsafe for human consumption, and therefore they will not be in position of meeting the required standards or the quality uh, requirements. Then we have to ensure that we employ trained personnel who understand good manufacturing practices. This is very important because if we employ uh, an individual who doesn't know anything about good manufacturing practices to work in the industry, there are higher chances of these personnel producing products which are of poor quality and products which are unsafe. So, for us to maintain quality in the products that we are producing in the industry, we have to always employ trained personnel who knows good manufacturing practices. Or if they don't know, we first need to train them on good manufacturing practices so that they are able to maintain good hygiene and sanitation during processing, and also the products that they will produce will be the one which can meet the required standards in terms of quality. During packaging, for us to ensure that there is quality, we have to always use materials that protect food integrity and extend shelf life of the food. So shelf life simply refers to the length of time for which an item remains or a food remains usable, fit for consumption, and sellable. So whenever we are packing the food products, we have to ensure that we use packaging materials that will protect the qualities or the characteristics or the food integrity and also extend its shelf life. Because if that is not possible, the food is going to lose its integrity and then the shelf life will be lowered and hence the nutrients in the food will all get depleted and hence the food will be rendered useless for consumption. Then we have to ensure that there is accurate labeling with clear information for consumers. Labeling is very important because it is through labeling of product that we shall know which ingredients are in the product. And this is very important because some consumers are allergic to other ingredients. So labeling this food product will help the consumer to read the ingredients which are in the product and hence will make appropriate decision on whether to consume the product or not. Then we have to also implement temper evident measures to prevent contamination. This is a good for food products which can be contaminated easily. We have to always pack them and then use packaging materials which can embrace or implement temper evident measures. Like for instance, we can use seals so that once the food product is opened, it can easily be seen by consumers because once the food product has been ever opened, that means there's a possibility of contamination occurring in the product and hence the consumers will be in position of taking good decisions. Self-life and this can be assured by optimizing packaging and storage condition to maintain freshness and quality. Once the shelf life of a product is reduced, then the product cannot maintain its freshness and quality. Raw materials, we have to always evaluate raw materials, and when we are evaluating raw materials, we can base on the cost. If a raw material is very expensive, that means that the industry is going to waste a lot of money in buying the raw materials, and hence uh, it is going to reduce the profit the company is getting. So always you ensure that you look for raw materials which are less costly, and as you are doing that, you should ensure that the raw materials are also of good quality. So that means our aims will be at looking for suppliers who can who can supply us with the raw materials at lower a lower cost, though with good quality. And then also you should base on the sustainability so that the raw materials will be supplied throughout without stopping. Because if there's no sustainability of the raw materials, that means there will be a certain period whereby you will fail to uh, come up or produce food products, and that is going to affect the business of the industry. Then taste and texture. We have to ensure that we always conduct sensory evaluation to ensure consumer satisfaction. Sensory evaluation is very, very important in the food industry because uh, customers they have different preferences in terms of the taste, texture, flavor, smell of the food products. And therefore, by conducting sensory evaluation, you will be able to know the preferences of the consumers, and hence you will be in position of coming up with a product that is going to satisfy the consumer. Quality management system: implementing a documented quality management system like a hazard analysis and critical control point ensures practice standardization and consistency. Quality management system facilitates traceability, allows identification and mitigation of issues at any stage. Then regularly auditing and reviewing the quality management system helps identify areas of improvement. Meeting consumers' demands. How can we meet consumers' demands? We know there are always evolving consumer preferences or demands regarding taste, health, and convenience. So, understanding these evolving consumer preferences regarding this aspect is a very, very important. And in the business, so that you will be working hard, your business will be working hard always to meet those preferences or desires of your customers. And we can understand these evolving consumer preferences by carrying out or conducting market research and consumer surveys. We do that by conducting market research and consumer surveys because it is through this that we are able to gather information or feedback about the products that we are giving out to the consumers. And also, we can do that by adopting product offerings and processes based on consumers' insights or feedback. Reasons for external recognition and accreditation. Accreditation is the act of being officially recognized or accepted or approved of doing something. So that means we are going to discuss about why is it important for a food industry or a food business or a company to be recognized externally, and also why is it important for it to be uh, to undergo accreditation process. One, being recognized externally creates what we call customer assurance. Why? Because the customer will build confidence. It helps your customers to build confidence in you because it means that the goods and services that you are providing them are the one of good quality, and therefore they'll be sure about the quality of the products that they are getting from your company. Then also it enables continuous improvement, and then it is of competitive advantage because once your company has undergone accreditation process and it is recognized externally, it helps you to stand out in the market because it builds a good reputation for your business because people will know you always produce goods and services that meet the requirements or the standards by the regulating bodies. Then also it is important for legal due diligence. When we talk of Due diligence is simply a process or effort which is made by the consumers to collect and analyze information before they take decisions. So if there may be, for instance, if there are legal, uh, if a customer wants to take a legal proceeding with the company as a result of receiving, let's say, a faulty product or unsafe product, then first of all, the the customer will have to make an effort of collecting and analyzing the information about your company before he or she takes a legal uh, decision. So externally, the standards which we normally follow are the global good agricultural practices, the Indian Foreign Service, British Retail Consortium, ISO, which means International Organization for Standardization, which can be 9001 or 22,000. Then we have the FSSC 22,000. Accreditation process. The accreditation process is made up of a process. It is a process cycle which consists of gap analysis, procedure implementation, and review. Then it also involves selection of appropriate standards and certification schemes for a company. Then it also involves a third party audit for certification or approval against selected standards. Then another important thing that we need to understand is food fraud in the industry. Food fraud is any intentional action taken to deceive customers about the quality and the content of the food product for financial gain. And this food fraud is a growing problem across the globe because mainly you find out now these days uh, businessmen and women they always look for way of gaining finances. They look for ways of always making sure they spend less and earn more profits. And in so doing, they will be always tempted to deceive their customers about the quality and the content of the food products that they are producing, and they do that mainly because of the economic motives that they have, and yet this food fraud has got a potential health consequences on uh, on the consumers because sometimes a consumer may buy a food product uh, in the name that the product is going to improve his or her healthy status. So instead of going to seek medication, the consumer will rely on that product, and hence this will cause a, a serious health consequence on the consumer. And then also, some businessmen add ingredients that some consumers are allergic to, and instead of indicating it on the packaging materials during the time of labeling, they ignore, so that the consumers who can easily be tempted to buy the product, and hence when they eat the product, they get adverse health effects. And so this food fraud is very bad, and industries or food businesses should ensure that they don't uh, practice food fraud, because it has got a potential health consequence on the consumers. And this therefore calls for a need for analytical verification and non-destructive rapid methods for detection. So that means that's why always the products that are being produced by the industry will first of all need has to be verified, inspected, tested before the products are released to consumers. The defect identification. When we are talking about quality control, we said it is focusing on the identification of defects or faulty products. So quality control is a set of activities for ensuring product quality by identifying defects. It is a reactive process aiming to identify and correct defects in finished products, and it involves inspection as part of quality management, typically managed by a detected team. We discussed this when we were discussing about quality control, and then quality management and total quality management. Quality management as is a quality management as overseeing activities for excellence. So in quality management, we said we have activities that are being implemented to ensure there's a maintenance of high level of excellency, so that the quality that are required of the products are being met. So you can refer to the total quality management as a broader philosophy that we have already talked about. Mm, Importance of quality control in food industry. Uh, Quality control helps in reduction. It reduces the production cost through effective inspection and control. Then it enhances goodwill, brand reputation, and positive word of mouth. These are the main importance of quality controls in food industries. And then the benefits of this quality control in the food industry is that it helps to facilitate pricing and reduction of production costs, improves goodwill, improved goodwill leads to a positive brand reputation, then increased sales and demand for products, higher employee morale due to effective quality control. So they will be having morale of working because there is always effective quality control. Quality management system. Uh, we have already discussed about this quality management previously, and then also we discussed briefly about the quality management uh, system. So this quality management system is just a formal system for achieving quality policies and objectives. It coordinates activity to meet customer and regulatory requirements. The multiple purpose of this includes improving process, reducing waste, and lowering costs and engaging staffs. The components of quality management system. Design and build phases in developing a quality management system, oversight by senior management to align with organization and customers' needs, granular deployment, breaks down process into sub processes. So there's also control and measure in quality management system. Control and measurement areas are established through routine audits. If there is a auditing or verification, it will help us to identify which areas are to be controlled or measured. Then specifies specific vary based on organization size, risk, and environment effect. Ongoing review and improvement based on audit results. Uh, then lastly, we are going to briefly talk about the quality management system certification. Certification. So the quality management system certification services includes auditing and satisfying organizations worldwide. Then focus on customer service, value, and simplifying clients' processes. Experienced professionals are always ensuring optimal result and market leadership in certification services. This is very important for an industry to always have it being satisfied for legal issues. And certification or being certified means that you have met all the requirements for operating a particular business. And this alone also can build reputation. And with this, we have come to the end of our lecture. Thank you for your